If you feel like your neck and shoulders need a little extra care today, then you're in the right place. This 20-minute yoga class will strengthen, stretch, and release tension from this area of the body. And this class is actually day one of a brand new yoga program inside my online studio, Lifelong Yoga. The program is 21 days and it's called Yoga Head to Toe, and it works through our entire body, developing body awareness, strength, balance, and flexibility. If you enjoy the class today and you'd like to join us for that program, then the link with all the details is down in the description. Okay, let's get started. We'll begin today's class in a comfortable seat. And if you do have 2 yoga blocks, then keep them nearby. They'll come in handy for our last pose of class today. But if you don't have them, no big deal. It'll be fine. We'll begin with our hands just resting comfortably on our lap. And just soften your shoulders for a moment. Intentionally soften any tension we feel through this area. Feel your crown, the crown of your head, reaching up to the sky. And then just begin by turning your head side to side. Take your time with this. It's simple movement, so you can close your eyes if you'd like, and just really feel into your body. Connecting with your breath in and out of your nose slowly and smoothly. And then bring your head back through center and just lower one ear down to a shoulder without letting that shoulder creep up. And then extend your other arm out in a low V, like you're trying to press the floor away from you. Feel the fingertips draw up towards you. And you can take this other hand on top of the head, and we're not yanking down, but we'll just use it for a little extra gentle length. Breathe here for a moment. During class today, I'd like you to be extra body aware. So just noticing as we move through the different poses, how our body's feeling, especially in this neck and shoulder area. If any tension is creeping up, I really want you to notice that and train our body to notice and soften and release. Okay, gently, you can use this hand to guide the head back up and onto the other side. Okay, the other arm extends out, fingertips up, and the head just gently drops down towards the shoulder. We're creating as much length here as we can. And then you can use this hand to gently pull and lengthen. And it's more of an upward motion than a downward yank. Slow your breath down. Okay, and then we'll guide that head back upward, hands back on the lap, and circle your shoulders back. Now, something kind of small, and I guess you could call it picky, that I'd like you to be aware of during this movement in particular is seeing if you can feel the movement originate from your shoulder blades behind you, this mid-upper back area. Feel the shoulder blades move as your shoulders go back, okay? So what I see a lot is using this upper trap muscle right here at the top of your shoulders, base of your neck. And I feel like that just creates more tension, right? So let's soften that area and try to move from the shoulder blades. And if you're overthinking it, just let that go. Just something to explore. Okay, move forward. And then next time your shoulders come up, let's bring them all the way up to the ears. Squeeze, bring tension intentionally to this area. Take a breath in and sigh the breath out as you soften and feel that tension drain away. Okay, let's make our way to hands and knees, tabletop position. Stacking your joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll start with circles here. So we're just exploring those shoulder circles. Again, this is a little more challenging to find at first. Circle the other direction. Okay, and then find your strong tabletop where we're pressing out of the floor, not hanging out into the shoulder joint, right? We're finding stability in the joints. Inhale, drop the belly down and broaden the collarbone a bit as you gaze slightly upward. You don't have to yank all the way up. On your exhale, begin to round your spine. Press away from the mat and let your head release. All right, back and forth. Inhale and exhale. And let's focus today on the shoulder blades moving together on the inhale and then feeling them spread apart on every exhale. Okay, on your next exhale, come to a neutral spine. Walk your hands out further in front of you, moving into puppy pose. So press your palms firmly into the mat, the arms are straight, and then keep your hips elevated above your knees as you start to melt your chest down towards the floor. Maybe melting your forehead all the way down, or maybe you need to stay elevated. That's fine. You can always put a prop, a blanket, a block under your head as well. Taking a few breaths here, settling in, letting your heart melt down. And then we'll start to bend our elbows and draw our palms in towards us, sending the hips back to our heels for a little child's pose. And I'm going to give my shoulders a break. Maybe you would like to too, by making a little shelf with my arms and resting my head on my hands. Checking in with how our neck and shoulders feel, and if there is any of that tension that crept up, wiggle it out, soften it, and send your breath. See if you can send your breath to the back ribs here for a moment. Okay, so coming to a tabletop now, but on our forearms, all right? So the elbows are under your shoulders. Hips are still over your knees. We'll tuck our toes. We're moving into dolphin for shoulder stability. Something I like to do to really make sure I'm feeling grounded here is to press my forearms and hands down into the floor, and you can play with trying to stretch the mat out between your arms. Good. Breathe, and then start to send your hips up to the sky. Just like downward facing dog, but you're on your forearms, so it might feel good to start with a bend in your knees as you press your hips up and back. Listen to your body. If this does not feel good on your shoulders, you can keep your weight shifted forward a little bit, but otherwise bring your ears in between the upper arms and gaze down towards the ankles. Breathe and press away from the mat. Just a couple more breaths here. And then on your exhale, release your knees down to the blanket and rest for just a breath or two. And it might feel good here, another child's pose variation, to take your arms down by your side. You'll need to bring your knees in closer to touch here. Oh, and melt down. Okay, rise on up. If you're using any kind of blanket or support under your knees, you can set that aside. So coming into Warrior One, I'm just going to step my right foot in front, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, plant the back foot just at a very slight angle. I like 45 degrees or less. See what works for you, and then feel your strength as you slowly rise up. All right, once you are up, just check in that everything feels good in your joints. That back toe's just at a slight angle. And our hips are square-ish to the front. If that doesn't feel good, you can keep the hips open just a little bit to the left. Lifting the heart, taking a big breath in here, feeling the ribs move with the breath, and a breath out. And then moving into eagle arms, take your arms directly in front of you, palms down. The left arm crosses over the right and they wrap around each other. Your arms wrap around each other. Maybe we touch palms, maybe we press the backs of the hands together, or maybe you just need a little space here. That's all good. If none of those things are working, we're just gonna take a little hug here. There we go. We'll go left over the right and lift the elbows. Okay, so we can start there. But otherwise, let's take those eagle arms, really press the forearms into one another, lift the elbows, but we keep the back of the neck long here. Okay, so breathe in and just lift the elbows, lift the chest, a little extension of the spine, and then breathe out as the front leg straightens and we round down, tuck the chin. Inhale to open and exhale to round. Keep moving like this and just notice how it feels in your upper back as you move. We're trying not to let too much tension creep up in that upper trap area at the base of your neck, but you might feel some and that's okay. Next time you inhale and open, let's stay there and start to move into a balance. If you need to hold on to something, you can. Otherwise, keep the bind. Shift all your weight to the right foot. We're going into airplane. Lighten up the back toe. This is a great place to stay until you feel steady. Otherwise, maybe we work on lifting that leg and bringing our torso down so there's one long line with the leg and the torso. Breathe here. Squeeze in just a little tighter into that bind of the upper body. Take a breath in, keep the balance, but just unfurl your arms into airplane arms, the low V's. Feeling your shoulder blades draw together, lifting the heart just slightly. And then step back to warrior one with control, bending your front knee, stepping way back, rooting both feet down, sweeping your arms up. Breathe in here. Breathe out, reach your arms down so they can either, you have two options here, they can stay in a low V, or you can reach them around, interlace the fingers, chest expansion wherever you are, breathe in, and then straighten your front leg, but lead with the heart down to a variation of humble warrior. Just a couple breaths here. And then we'll bend that front knee again, ground through the feet, release the arms and sweep them back up. Inhale, step forward on your exhale and bring your hands down to heart center. Take a moment here before we do the other side just to breathe, check in with how your body feels. If any part of that felt challenging for you, acknowledge that. Be with whatever that brings up. And then we'll move on to the other side. Okay, step the right foot back for warrior one. Slight angle of the back foot, bend of the front knee. If you are on too much of a tightrope here, you're gonna be a little wobbly, so bring some space between your feet. Okay, and then we'll stretch our arms up for full Virabhadrasana 1, lifting the heart and breathing here for a moment. And then on your next exhale, let's just release or bring the arms down in front of you, shoulder height. This time, right arm crosses over the left. We wrap the arms around one another, finding that bind, or just giving our shoulders a little hug here, okay? Now, even though we're in this bind, see if you can lengthen the neck, lift those elbows up, and then breathe in as you open the heart, lift up a little higher. Breathe out as you straighten the front leg, round a little bit in the upper back, and tuck the chin. Keep moving like that. Next time you inhale, we'll stay lifted. Start to work on our balance, so shift forward to that left foot, lighten up the back toe, working on airplane. Maybe we stay right here. Maybe we need to take a break from eagle arms and hold on to something. All of that is okay. Or we can lift the leg as the torso comes down, one long line, torso and lower body. Letting the breath flow, even in more challenging postures, or I should say especially in more challenging postures. Squeeze into the bind a little more on your inhale, and then on your exhale, just unfurl your upper body, full airplane here, opening the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades, breathing. And then with control, we bend that left knee, we step back, we root that back foot down, sweep the arms up. Take a breath in here in your warrior one. And then exhale, just bring your arms either down by your side in low V's, or you can interlace the fingers behind your back. Chest expansion on your inhale, squeezing the shoulder blades. And then on your exhale, straighten the front leg, lead with the heart forward. A little mix between humble warrior and pyramid. Release the hands, bend the knee, sweep the arms back up as you inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Step forward with control. Take a pause as you breathe. Soften your shoulders. Feel your heartbeat. And we'll finish in a pose, a variation of a pose called supported fish. So come on down to your mat, and if you do have those 2 blocks, we'll use them here. You can always just use a blanket instead with what I'm about to show you. So there are different ways you can set up the blocks for supported fish, and feel free to explore and see what works best for you, what feels best. But here's what we'll try today. Put your blocks in a T shape. So it's like this, with this one at the top of the mat. This bottom part goes behind your spine. Okay, and then we're going to lean back, lie back on the block, and let your shoulder blades hang off it. And then you rest your head on the top block and just make any adjustments you need to make. So something to check in is that it doesn't feel weird on your low back. Usually that means the block's too low down, so you could scoot it a little higher. And then once you find a comfortable position, comfortable-ish, then just open your shoulders. So let them open out, palms open. The arms can rest by your sides, maybe a little spread out. Now lower body, if this is comfortable with your knees bent, feet planted, you can definitely stay there. So you could see how it feels to stretch your legs out long, or even take a butterfly, a Supta Baddha Konasana with the lower body. Really, the intention is to open up the chest and shoulder area while fully supporting our head and neck. Once you're settled in, just feel all of the effort from the last 20 minutes melt away. So all the focus, let go, and let your body settle. Let your mind settle. Feel the breath move through your body, and notice how this pose supports a deeper, fuller breath. Feel that natural expansion of the ribs and chest with every breath in. We'll finish with 3 cleansing breaths together, but of course you are welcome to stay as long as you like if this feels good. Take a breath in through your nose. Pause at the top and sigh it out of your mouth. Again, filling up with air on your inhale, feeling the ribs expand. Pausing and then releasing. One last time, breathe in. Pause and let it go. Notice how you feel and acknowledge yourself for carving this time out to get on your mat, to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me today. If you would like to join us for the 21-day program, Yoga Head to Toe, I would love to have you. All the details are at the link down in the description, or you can, of course, just leave a comment asking me any questions. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.